Hi everyone, Christie Makela here with Thriving on a Budget, and today we are going to be making my chocolate chip cookies. So let's get started. First thing you need to do is preheat the oven to 350. I went ahead and just started that. And you're going to need a medium-sized bowl. Our first ingredient is going to be flour. You need 1.5 cups of flour. So I went and got my scooper and I scooped it into this bowl already. And then you're going to need 1 teaspoon of baking soda. I have this measuring tool. They gave it to me free with my first Walmart grocery pickup, so that was cool. So I just adjusted it to 1 teaspoon, and I did the baking soda. That's in here. And then I need 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So I used this, and I poured my salt into it, and I have those 3 ingredients in the bowl right now. And I'm going to sift it so that it becomes more fine. So we're using all-purpose flour. I don't know if I said that. You want to sift through it so it gets really fine and there's not any chunks of the flour in there or chunks of anything. We just want it nice and fine. I just run through this a couple times for about 30 seconds. And then it becomes very fine like so. I know it's hard to see because it's white, but it's nice and fine now. And I'm going to set that aside for a second. And then we are going to take our large bowl, which is what everything's going to end up being in a second. And we are going to take 1/2 cup of unsalted butter. So I have my butter here. And I use the stick of butter, unsalted butter. This stick is 1/2 cup. So here's the trick, guys, to making this a really, really good cookie. Sit this out at the morning if you're going to make it at night, or put it out the day before. I put mine out yesterday so it'll be ready. You want it to be room temperature. You can kind of see if I push it, it will dent in there. It is room temperature right now. If you forget to do that, you can put it in the microwave, but only put it in for 15 seconds and then check it. If it feels soft, then you're good. If it's still hard, do another 15 seconds. But you don't want it just melting. You want it room temperature. So I have this as room temperature already because I put it out before. It is 1/2 cup, 1 stick. And I'll show you guys the kind I use. So I just buy this. I just buy the off-brand of everything basically because it tastes exactly the same to me. So I got it at Meijer, so it's just the Meijer brand. It's sweet cream butter unsalted, and you get 4 sticks in here. And I think this thing is like $2. So I always get a couple of those when I go to the store. So I am ready to make cookies whenever I want. So I put this stick out, and it's already room temperature. You can kind of see it peeling right off the paper. So I'm just going to let that fall into this big bowl, and we're good. Kind of scrape the extra off that corner there, and we're good. All right, then now that I have my butter in there, I'm going to take 1/2 cup of firmly packed, like tight packed in this 1/2 cup of brown sugar. I use light brown sugar for mine. Here's my light brown sugar. So I'm going to take that, get my scoop, and again, you want to tightly, firmly pack it down, so I fill it kind of part way, and then I just take the back of this and I just pack it down. So that's what I'm doing there. And I need a little bit more now that I packed it down. And I pack the rest down. I know that's a lot of sugar, but these cookies are really good. Okay, firmly packed. We are good to go now. And I'm going to put that into the butter. So I've got my brown sugar and my butter. And then for this bowl, I need 6 tablespoons of regular sugar. So I've got my regular sugar here. I'm going to get 6 tablespoons. Move that to tablespoon. I'm going to wipe this down real quick. All right, now I'm going to get 6 tablespoons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, 6 tablespoons of sugar. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get our hand mixer and we're going to just mix this up. So I have a KitchenAid 5-speed mixer we got for our wedding, which I love. So I'm going to mix that together. This step is the reason that butter at room temperature is really important. It's going to mix really quick and really easy because it's the perfect temperature. So I'm just going to put it on 2 here and combine this. It's coming together nicely. The oven is ready. And that's it. That's ready. It looks like that. And then we are going to take 1 egg, add it to that mixture, and we are going to take 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. So let me go ahead and do my 1 teaspoon first before my hands get messy from the egg. Again, I just bought, this one's off-brand. The other one, the batch before when before I had this one, I had a name brand one, just whatever you find, but it is the pure vanilla. It's not the imitation, it's the pure. So 1 teaspoon of that. Any brand will do as long as it is the pure vanilla extract. Pour that in there. And then I'm going to do, so I got the vanilla in there, and then I'm going to do my egg. Then I'm going to wash my hands. Okay, so we got our egg. Toss that. All right, we've got our vanilla, our egg, and our mixture that we already had of our brown sugar, white sugar, and butter. So let me wash my hands. I do not want egg all over them while I do the next step. Okay, and then I'm going to mix this up on 2 again. Real quick. I love my hand mixer. So convenient. You know, you can use other tools to mix this. I just have my hand mixer and that's what I like to use and it works really well for me. Okay, now you have this nice creamy dough forming here, this cookie dough. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my dry ingredients and I'm going to slowly pour them in and I'm going to keep mixing the whole time on a 1 speed. I'm not going to stop mixing. So turn my mixer on and then I'm going to slowly pour in my dry mixture until it's all mixed together. Have patience on this step. You don't want to just dump it all in at once. You want it to be nice and smooth. And keep mixing. Adding. I add probably about a 1/2 cup at a time. That's what it's measuring out to, is my best estimate. And as you're doing this, it should be thickening up. Mine is thickening up nicely. A little more to add here. Last little bit. And it's getting nice and thick. And I just want to make sure that I get all the dry ingredients incorporated and not any sitting at the bottom by itself. So work it through. All right, that looks good. Should look like that when you're done. And now we get to add the chocolate chips or whatever ingredients you wanted to add to yours. So Usually this happens to me with my hand mixer, so what I do is I just grab my spatula here and then I just poke it through. Get all that dough in there. I know you're not supposed to eat cookie dough because it's a raw egg, but I definitely eat this batter later because it's really good. So yeah, I'll be doing that. Okay, so now we have our mixture, and now you're going to add whatever ingredients you want as far as your sweets. I'm going to use semi-sweet chocolate chips. That's what I use more times than not. Again, I just got the off-brand, and I have tried several different brands and sizes and sweetnesses, and this tends to be the best one for just your regular chocolate chip cookie. I did use the mini ones last time, and they were really good too. It was still semi-sweet. They were just the mini chip, and it worked out really well. So that's what I'm going to use today. I also love, because I love white chocolate, I like to use the white chips as well. So I'll use this. I kind of do it every other time. One time I'll use chocolate, one time I'll use the white chocolate. You can mix them together if you want. You can get peanut butter chips, you can get butterscotch chips, whatever you want. This step will be the same. I'm going to put 2 cups in. You can add more if you really, really like chocolate or whatever this ingredient you're putting in. Or you can add less if you don't want that much. I have found, for me personally, I like 2 cups. 2 cups works perfect for me. So if I put more than that, it tends to be just too chocolatey for me. And then if I put less, then it's not enough. So I've found that 2 cups is the magic number. So I'm going to take my 1 cup measurement here. And finish this bag off here. So I had a little bit left over from a bag previously, same bag, so I'm just finishing that bag off. All right, almost a cup. Filling that up. Get a little bit more. So really this measurement is just up to your preference. I got 1 cup. I'm going to stir 1 cup in first with my spatula, and then I will add the second one after. Don't do both at the same time, otherwise it gets overwhelming. So I've got 1 cup in there, and then I'm just going to stir it in by hand and just fold it in. So I am just folding it in to the dough. So you get a nice even mixture of your chocolate chips. And if you go to the baking aisle, they have like so many different kinds of chips to put in here. There's like unicorn ones right now, like rainbow unicorn chips, and I mean just everything you can think of. One time I got these little toffee pieces that went in with the mixture. That was really good. So really it's whatever you want to put in there. Looks like that. I'm going to add 1 more cup of our chocolate chips now, and then we'll be ready to go. All right. Cup number 2, pour it in, and mix it up by hand. Fold it in. And you guys, these seriously are like the best chocolate chips ever. I feel like first time I made them, I was like, oh my gosh, they're like, I just went to a bakery and bought a fresh chocolate chip cookie. I was so happy with how they turned out. I learned how to bake during quarantine. Not that I didn't know how. I just actually learned how to bake from scratch, which I never used to do. So once I made them, these have been a major hit. And everyone that's had them are like, wow, make me more, please. So I'm like, yeah, they're really, really good. So this amount usually makes about 18 to 20 cookies. So it's just my husband and I. So I always send some cookies with him to work for his coworkers, and they're very happy about that. And they always ask me, when are more cookies coming? So I don't try to keep, 20 cookies in the house for just us. All right, so now it is mixed up. Looks good. And I'm going to put this, so it's kind of like, I don't want to say sticky, but kind of sticky at the moment, sticking to my spatula. So I'm going to put it in the fridge for 10 minutes and let it cool a little bit. That way it'll be a lot easier to scoop out onto my pan here in a second. It won't be sticking all over to my fingers. So I will be back in about 10 minutes. Okay, we're back. So in the last 10 minutes, I went ahead and cleaned everything up. And, well, I paused you guys. I cleaned everything up. And I put the cookie dough in the fridge for about 10 minutes. You can also put it in the freezer for 5 minutes if you want. Just don't forget about it. So now it is ready for me to start scooping. I have my large pan, cookie sheet pan, and I put this silicone mat on it. You don't have to, but if you don't, then you'd probably want to spray this with a non-stick cooking spray. I like this mat because it's already non-stick, so it's perfect. And so I've got that, and I've got 2 pans. You could just use one and just, move it after the first batch to a cooling rack. I don't have a cooling rack, so I just put it on 2 different ones. So I'm going to make 2 batches, put one in, and then when I take it out, I'll just put the next one in. These pans don't both fit on the top rack, so I don't want to put one on the bottom and one on the top. So I just make 2 batches. You're going to want to use an ice cream scooper. I've been asked, how do I get my cookies to be so, like, the perfect, like, bakery size cookie? I use this scoop, and it's got the little push. It's an ice cream scooper, and I just fill it in. I'll show you how I do it right now, and it ends up being, like, the perfect size cookie. Another thing that I use, I got this on Amazon for like $6. There's a ton of different ones on there, but I just grabbed a fairly cheap one for $6. And I will fill this with either marshmallow fluff or Nutella, and I will actually stuff my cookies right when they come out of the oven and they're still pliable and hot. I just insert this and I squeeze in Nutella or marshmallow fluff because my husband requested that. So I got this for $6 and I just inserted it with either filling that you like. Both were really good, so I do recommend that if you are interested in that. And then I got a cookie jar from Walmart for like $5, and I keep the cookies in here, and just a little extra tip for you. Okay, so we've got our cookie dough, and we've got our scooper. So I just dig right in there, and I want to make sure I scrape off the extra. So you're going to scrape off the extra on the edge, and once you do, and it looks like that, you are good to put it on to your pan. And I do a 3x4, so I get 12 on this one. And I just drop it on there like that. Once I have all of them on, I use the back end or just my fingers, whatever, and I just kind of push it down just a little bit to flatten it out just a little bit like that. And then I pop it in the oven. Remember, our oven is already preheated to 350, and I'm going to put it in for exactly 13 minutes. I know 13 sounds so random, but that's the number I found to make them like the perfect way that I like them. If you like them crispier, then go a little bit longer. If you like them really, really soft, go a little bit less. Again, everything is your preference. I hardly ever follow recipes. Like, if I find something for dinner or whatever, I hardly ever follow a recipe to the T because it's going to be based on that person's personal tastes. So do the same thing. If you don't like that many chocolate chips, don't put that many in. If you like them crunchier, then put them in for longer. Do whatever you like, and then it's going to taste better. So again, I'm taking a big scoop. This is too big of a scoop. Okay, so you want to then just scrape it on the side, and it flattens it out. That one I have some space in there, so I'm going to put a little bit more in there. And then that's perfect. And then again, I just drop it out onto the pan. And then I just keep going. So I'm going to pause this and do the rest, and then I'll show you in a second. Okay, so I have the cookie dough all put on the tray. What I did is I just patted down the top of each one just to flatten it a little bit so it cooks more evenly. And then I'm going to pop this into the oven at 350 on the top rack for 13 minutes. So I'll do that now. Timer 13 minutes. And then I have my second tray already ready to go on there like that. If you didn't want to make the full batch, I have made half a batch before and then put it in a freezer bag and then laid it, like smashed it flat. and then I just put it in the fridge, and then a couple days later I made it. So you can always do that as well. I always just make a big batch because I always send some with my husband to work. So these will go in 13 minutes when those ones come out, and we'll be good to go. So I will show you what they look like in 13 minutes. All right, guys, so it just finished cooking at 13 minutes, and it's cooled a little bit. My second one's in the oven, and I grabbed one for you guys to show you. I mean, look at that perfect size cookie. I know my hands are small, but still, look at how big that cookie is. That is, it's so good, and it's still warm. So I'm going to show you guys because this is my favorite part. I mean, come on. So good. Perfect cookie. Yeah. Delicious. Served with milk. So good. Hope you guys enjoy that. It's on my blog, thrivingonabudget.com. Excuse me, this cookie's really good though. Check it out. It's on there. It's on Pinterest, and I will be sharing it on YouTube and my Facebook page. So wherever you find it, please leave a comment if you try it out and you like it. Have a good day, guys. Thanks for watching.